Hi Libra, here's a general look at your solar chart for May 2014. Now in May we are clearing up or finishing off or picking up the pieces from the grand cross configuration in our skies over April, and really I would say that even though it's separating, there's still quite a lot going to be going on kind of worldwide with that one in May, and I'm doing this in March so I don't know what's going to happen yet, but it's likely that there's still quite a lot going on with that one. And also Jupiter is opposing Pluto, as it has been in it off and on for a while. It's definitely over April. And also we've had Mars in the mix, which was fortunate in a way that Mars was going retrograde, which kind of took some of Mars's fire away. However, I would think he's probably keeping his powder dry, but he's still got his powder. However, when he finds that again from May the 20th, when he goes direct, then it will not be in such a volatile mix as it was over April and the beginning of May, I would say, or even the back end of March. Right, so I just wanted to say a little bit about that to you, because you're one of the cardinal signs, and therefore you're sort of in the thick of all of this Jupiter, Pluto, Mars, Uranus stuff. So for a start, just let me say that you've got certain good things going for you, like Jupiter is at the top of your chart still, will be there until July, but even when he moves in July, he's still going to be in a really, really good angle for you. He's in quite a challenging angle at the moment, but he is up at the top of your chart, and that can mean more opportunities with career, profession, or just your general direction in life that the universe is serving up to you just now, and helping you to gain recognition, helping you to maybe be more visible, to work on presentation, image, that kind of thing. But because we've got Jupiter opposing Pluto at the root of your chart, it might be mean that domestic conditions or the dynamics with certain family members may be putting a little bit of an inner strain on you. And then if you don't have that launch pad, that security at the root of your chart to do with point on the map, domestic setup, location, family dynamics, and feeling, you know, anchored and safe, then that is going to impede, or it could do. So this is the time for you with Jupiter opposing Pluto, and you'll probably be listening to this in April, to consider and think deeply about what the truth is, where what your true priorities are, and what you most want to move forwards with, what you value the most. And once you're beginning to feel that, because it is more like a sensing and a feeling, it will then come to you what you do actually have to let go of, what you've got to streamline, what you've got to downsize, what you've got to let go of. So that might be, in a material sense, financially, you know, downsizing and streamlining and sort of clipping your wings a bit. It could very well be. But it can, and it can also mean, you know, because there's tremendous changes going on inside of you at very fundamental levels of your being with Pluto there. So it can also mean that certain behavior patterns which have you falling down the same old hole in the road, you need to square up to those, and maybe get some help to sort those out, or indeed just you won't need that help necessarily, but just to be mindful of how you do that, and how it never gets you to the place you want to be. So it can be like that. And then once you have understood that the price of this broadening of your horizons and this potential abundance that Jupiter can bring you up at the top of your chart in your career area to do with your general life direction, once you realize that the price of that is to actually let go of something, maybe it's some obsessiveness that you've got, some compulsive thinking that you've got, that goes round and round and round, and it's as though you need to step right away from it and look at it for what it is, because it's only your mind. And you know, who is in control here? Your mind or you? So yes, and then you can go into this lovely sort of feeling of change and evolution, which probably isn't going to feel lovely to you right away, because you do have so much change and evolution going on in your life. It can feel a little bit like you're in the middle of a storm at times, with bits flying around everywhere and rather out of control, and almost like, you know, you're not in control, the others are in control. But if you pull that right back to yourself and figure it out for yourself, and figure out, okay, what on a practical level needs to be done here in the way of downsizing, streamlining, letting go, whether it's material things or whether it's your attitude, whether it's your habit, whether it's your chip on your shoulder. I mean, maybe it's your just bad lifestyle choice. You know, it can be anything. But that is called taking responsibility. That's called taking the power back. Right, so there's that one. Then, of course, you do have the long-running transit of Uranus in your opposite sign, meaning ups and downs in the life of a partner, sudden changes in the life of the partner, which was unpredicted and which has this knock-on effect on you. So it can be like that. It can be that now you see them, now you don't. It can be that they've exited, that they've gone completely. It might not be a partner, it can be somebody else in close relationship. It doesn't have to be a partner. But anyway, you get the idea of this kind of swings and roundabouts sort of energy in the partnership area, and you having to duck and dive and be ever so flexible in order to keep up with this, or to you know, limit it, or to change with it, to understand it, because you're always wanting to understand things. Also being attracted maybe to people who are very, very unusual, very maybe not run of the mill, and getting involved with them, or getting involved in a way which is very unconventional for you yourself. That's another way that can go. It's not good or bad, it just is the way it is. Uranus is really quite surprisingly androgynous, asexual energy. So yes, you may find parts of yourself in this interaction, if it's in your personal life, which is really quite surprising to you as well. And I'm just going to let you know which parts of the sign, your sign, are being most affected by that energy of Uranus this month. That's those of you born 6th to 9th of October. And of course the whole sign is being affected too, but in lessening degrees. And if you've got Libra rising, that would be 13 to 16 degrees. And then for Pluto, that's those of you born 5th to the 7th of October, and rising sign 12 to 14 degrees. That is the real eye of the storm here of this energy, but of course the whole of the signs are going to be. And really this is super makeover time for you Librans, along with the other cardinal signs. Your life is never going to be the same again. I mean, obviously parts of it are going to be the same. That was maybe exaggerating, of course. The good bits, hopefully, but you on a fundamental level are very, very much changing, and you know, this rebirth is happening for you, and you earlier Librans will know what I've been talking about here, because you've been through it, done it, and got the t-shirt, and you're sitting there smiling probably that you have sort of done it and left it behind you down the road, because you're in a much better place now. Okay, so now other news. The sun is very much in a gear shifting area for you, and you're feeling a little bit more easily emotional, touched by things, sensitive, intuitively gauging your way forwards with things, but transition is going to occur when through mutual interaction with key others. And that can be a challenge as well. Your value structure and instinct tells you what the best thing is to do, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a challenge at all. It's just this interaction with key others. In fact, Venus, your ruling planet, is very strong in her favorite place in your solar chart, and that will help balance and harmonize things in close relationships and in working relationships. Anything to do with affairs of the heart could get a boost here, and you feel much closer with somebody, more of a rapport, and there could be, as I say, a special someone there, and a special someone could value your attention, your presence, your contribution, whatever it is, and you could value your theirs, and that's both horses pulling in the right direction. Until the 3rd, that's to say right at the very beginning, sort of half of the first week, Venus is in this very practical, hands-on, let's team up together and pull together in this very kind of practical way, you being cooperative and others being cooperative with you, perhaps as a female there, somebody who is there with the practical advice, helpful advice, and help when you need it. And then right at the beginning of the month as well, Mercury is in this more introspective area, that you feeling things and more deeply and being more sensitive, but definitely your thinking could be very much almost not linear and rational at all. It's almost gut instinct thinking there, because it can be quite intense, that area there where Mercury and the Sun are going to be. But Mercury moves out of there on the 8th, and then from the 8th for most of the month, right up until the 29th, then you're thinking in a more outward, extrovert, expansive kind of way, looking at getting the bigger picture. It's as though that inward, intense mood has kind of dispelled to a degree. It won't completely dispel till the Sun has moved out of there on the 21st. But very much your mind is in this more upbeat, positive frame of mind. And this is a great time to connect with others who've got a very different background to yours, a very different slant on things to yours, and their opinions and their views on things will be very refreshing for you, or they should be, and help you to get, like I say, you know, the bigger picture. And also you could be seen as that to them, that your understanding, your advice, your knowledge is just what they need, your expertise is just what they need, and you are being their guide. Now the Sun, as I say, does move on the 21st into this same very expansive area, so it's kind of a slow beginning. I would watch out for the 2nd week, when we have Saturn and the Sun together. There it might be quite heavy on you, how much support you've got to give for others, maybe how much you have to take on there, but it is just for that week, and you get brownie points in heaven for that one. But yes, the Sun from the 21st moves into an area where you should be getting out of the routine box. You could be getting, you know, restless. Some of you may be able to travel, but at least you should be getting out to places that you don't usually go to, because that would meet the criterion of that energy there. Travel on the distant horizons beckon, and you may be making plans. This is a great transit of the Sun here to be like I say, it helps you to get the eagle eye view, so you can sort of start to make plans. You know, it's a little bit like the zoom out function on the Google map. Oh, okay, I can see more how it all is and where we are now. You know, it's a bit like that. And then Saturn is in this area of your life where you've got to be more careful and more responsible about the piggy bank, about don't take your eye off the ball, don't fly by the seat of your pants, don't trust to luck with Saturn here, because you know, it is about yeah, a bit of austerity, very much. It can be that. And you have got to just watch yourself as you go forwards, but routine perseverance with all assets, making the most of assets, working hard to get assets, and you know, capitalize on whatever skill you have, whatever knowledge you have, whatever you got going for you, basically. Sell it. No, I don't mean that at all, but no, I mean, just try to make the most of it, because it's like here is where you will be most sorely tested during the way she operates. Saturn is that she tests us. It's a bit like, you know, the products coming off the conveyor belt, and Saturn's the one with a hammer that just goes bang to see if it's solid or it's got any cracks in it, you know. So you have to be able to withstand this hammering, and it will feel like that at times. It really will. And then at other times you will heave a sigh of relief, because you've realized that you've met the challenge, and that you're able to be very proud of yourself that you met that challenge. I did that, you know, and that will stand you in good stead for the future. Trust me, I've been there, done it, more than once. So now in July, Mars is accelerating things around you. Mars is in your sign, so you know there will be lots of demand on your energy. Just look after your energy more, because it's like you've got to be everywhere with everyone and everything, or indeed, even if you're not in the mood, particularly when you want to tuck yourself away a little bit more at the beginning of the month. You still have to be assertive with your, no, assertive is not quite right, but yeah, sometimes assertive and also decisive. You got to take the lead, you know, even when you're not in the mood. And the one good thing about it is Mars does tend to give you that vitality. Mars rules the adrenal glands. So, but don't be hasty. Don't trip over your own shoelaces because you're trying to do too much and you're overstretching. So be smart, get ahead of the game, customize things to suit you as well as you can. You know, the routines during the day or the night or whatever it is, really customize that so that you are being clever with it, and that you're not getting too tired out, and Mars can run you ragged, you know. And that's it for May. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, then listen to those. That'll give you a fuller picture of what I've said here. And also, all of this is written up on my website if you want to see which dates of birth are being most strongly influenced by which planets. I've left that for you there. And I'll see you the next time.